Love the Ravens as much as we do? Then smash that subscribe button and stay locked in with Flock News for all the drama, updates, and excitement all season long. The NFL landscape is shaking like never before, and the Baltimore Ravens have just thrown a massive curveball that could redefine the entire AFC North. In a move that's already sending shockwaves through fan communities, front offices, and social media, the Ravens have officially secured a trade for defensive powerhouse Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns. This isn't just another headline. It's a seismic shift that could alter defensive schemes, quarterback matchups, and the very identity of a team that has been searching for an edge against some of the league's most potent offenses. The rumors had been swirling for weeks, with insiders dropping hints about potential trades, salary cap strategies, and Garrett's growing interest in joining a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Now that the trade is confirmed, speculation is reaching a fever pitch as analysts, fans, and rivals scramble to assess what this truly means for the Ravens' championship ambitions moving forward. Myles Garrett arriving in Baltimore is more than just a name on a roster. It's a statement, a declaration that the Ravens are not messing around when it comes to their pursuit of dominance. Known for his relentless pass rush, explosive athleticism, and unmatched work ethic, Garrett brings a level of intensity that can change games almost single-handedly. Fans are already imagining highlight reels filled with strip sacks, quarterback pressures, and game-changing momentum swings that could swing entire playoff series. The Browns, on the other hand, are left to contemplate the impact of letting go of one of their most dynamic defensive talents, prompting heated discussions on podcasts, sports shows, and forums about what Cleveland gets in return and whether this move signals a larger rebuild or a strategic pivot. Meanwhile, the Ravens' locker room is reportedly buzzing with excitement, as players see the addition of Garrett as both a challenge and a motivator, knowing that their defensive front now carries a new, intimidating identity. The trade officially opens a new chapter for both franchises, and the narrative is only just beginning to unfold. While the immediate headlines focus on the blockbuster trade itself, the deeper story lies in the strategic chess match behind the scenes. The Ravens management, long admired for their calculated decisions and aggressive pursuit of talent, clearly saw an opportunity to capitalize on the Browns' willingness to negotiate. Details of the trade, draft picks, potential player exchanges, and financial considerations are still being dissected by insiders, but the overarching message is clear: Baltimore is all in. Analysts are already projecting the impact on divisional matchups, noting that Garrett's presence could disrupt rival offenses, force quarterbacks to rethink pocket habits, and give the Ravens a psychological edge before the first snap even occurs. In contrast, the Browns are portrayed as playing a longer game, perhaps valuing draft flexibility, salary cap maneuverability, or new acquisitions that could address multiple areas of need. As the NFL rumor mill churns, fans are left debating not only the immediate effects, but also the long-term implications, wondering if this is the move that finally propels the Ravens past perennial playoff heartbreaks into legitimate Super Bowl contention. The ripple effect of this trade is already evident in social media frenzy and sports commentary. Hashtags are trending, reaction videos are being uploaded, and fan polls are exploding across platforms, all dissecting every angle of what Myles Garrett joining the Ravens entails. Fantasy football leagues are suddenly recalculating projections, defensive coordinators are strategizing against a new nightmare, and casual fans are trying to understand the scale of the move without being overwhelmed by the stats, contracts, and draft implications being thrown around. There's a palpable sense of urgency and excitement, as every highlight from Garrett's past games is being replayed to visualize how he could fit into Baltimore's defensive schemes. In bars, living rooms, and online threads, speculation runs rampant. Will Garrett be the difference-maker against divisional rivals? Will he elevate young talents around him? And could this finally push the Ravens into championship territory? The excitement is contagious, almost electric, as everyone seems to sense that something significant is unfolding right before their eyes. The human element of this trade cannot be understated either. Myles Garrett himself becomes a focal point in this swirling narrative, with fans curious about how he will adjust to a new city, coaching staff, and team culture. Interviews, past comments, and insider whispers paint a picture of a driven athlete hungry for success, and eager to make an immediate impact. Reports suggest Garrett is already connecting with teammates, discussing schemes, and analyzing opponents, signaling a level of professionalism that resonates with Ravens' ethos. Meanwhile, Browns fans are navigating a roller coaster of emotions: admiration for Garrett, disappointment at his departure, and curiosity about how the team will fill the void. The story is layered, extending beyond statistics and contracts into personal ambition, team chemistry, and the intricate dynamics of professional football, all of which make this trade more than just a business transaction. It becomes a story of transformation, opportunity, and stakes as high as the NFL playoffs themselves. Looking ahead, the Ravens' upcoming season suddenly feels different, charged with a narrative that didn't exist just a few weeks ago. Analysts are predicting new defensive formations, increased quarterback pressures, and potential record-breaking performances, all centered around the addition of Garrett. The team's coaching staff is reportedly adjusting practice schedules, defensive drills, and game plans to integrate their new star seamlessly. Meanwhile, the league watches with anticipation as rival teams calculate the challenge of facing a Baltimore front line that now carries a fearsome presence. The chatter, speculation, and rumor mills aren't expected to die down anytime soon. Instead, they will only intensify as preseason approaches, highlighting the magnitude of the Ravens' gamble. This trade represents not just a roster change, but a dramatic storyline in the NFL's ongoing drama, promising weeks of debate, analysis, and excitement as fans eagerly anticipate seeing how Myles Garrett reshapes the Ravens' destiny in real time on the gridiron. The narrative surrounding Myles Garrett's move to Baltimore extends beyond the field, weaving into broader discussions about the Ravens' ambitions, franchise strategy, and cultural identity. Historically, Baltimore has been known for a disciplined, hard-hitting defensive approach, and adding Garrett only amplifies this reputation. Analysts are already speculating about how his skills will redefine the team's defensive philosophy, suggesting that his presence could allow the Ravens to take more calculated risks elsewhere on the roster, whether in secondary coverage or blitz packages. Fans are dissecting every angle, from Garrett's past sack numbers to his playoff performances, trying to imagine how the Ravens' defensive line might dominate divisional rivals. Conversations are increasingly personal as supporters debate whether Garrett's leadership style, athletic approach, and intensity align with Baltimore's locker room culture, creating an evolving storyline that blends statistical analysis, team chemistry, and pure narrative drama. The intrigue doesn't just stem from his on-field ability, but from the mystery of how he will shape the team's ethos moving forward. Garrett's arrival also opens a broader discussion about rivalries, particularly within the AFC North, where the Ravens, Browns, Bengals, and Steelers constantly jostle for supremacy. The Browns' decision to trade a defensive cornerstone to a divisional rival introduces tension that extends far beyond simple game-day matchups. Analysts are predicting renewed intensity in Ravens-Browns clashes, with Garrett's presence adding an emotional and psychological layer that could influence every snap, every blitz, and every coaching decision. Fans have been buzzing about the potential for dramatic confrontations, heated press conferences, and social media battles, all fueled by the narrative that a key defensive weapon has crossed enemy lines. This ripple effect illustrates how a single trade can become a fulcrum for countless stories, rivalries, and discussions, as professional football continues to blend athleticism with drama, strategy, and the unpredictable human element that makes it so compelling to millions of supporters nationwide. The financial and strategic implications of this trade also provide rich material for analysis and debate. Contract negotiations, cap space considerations, and future draft picks are being scrutinized by experts and fans alike, who are trying to understand whether this move represents a calculated investment or a high-stakes gamble. Early reports suggest that the Ravens were willing to restructure contracts and make sacrifices elsewhere to acquire Garrett, signaling a commitment to immediate success over long-term flexibility. Meanwhile, the Browns are portrayed as positioning themselves for future opportunities, potentially leveraging draft assets and salary cap space to build a more balanced roster. These dynamics contribute to the larger story, emphasizing that football is as much a game of business strategy and negotiation as it is about athletic performance. Every decision made off the field carries ripple effects that can define seasons, shape legacies, and influence how fans and analysts perceive franchises for years to come. Myles Garrett's trade also sparks a wider conversation about legacy, motivation, and personal ambition in professional sports. Garrett has long been viewed as a generational talent with the ability to dominate games, but his move to Baltimore introduces new narratives about leadership, resilience, and the pursuit of championship glory. Fans speculate on whether his career trajectory will be accelerated by joining a team with Super Bowl aspirations, and how his presence might inspire younger players to elevate their own performances. The story becomes a mix of statistical expectations, human psychology, and emotional investment, as observers consider how a single individual can shift team dynamics, influence locker room culture, and potentially alter the history of a franchise. Every interview, practice report, and preseason highlight will now carry added weight, as the narrative surrounding Garrett's impact is meticulously tracked, analyzed, and debated by a captivated audience. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. As the season approaches, the media frenzy surrounding Garrett intensifies, with sports journalists, analysts, and influencers racing to break news, project outcomes, and provide insider insights. Podcasts dissect the trade's potential implications, television analysts speculate on defensive matchups, and fan forums explode with predictions ranging from immediate dominance to gradual adaptation challenges. This constant flow of information, rumor, and opinion creates an almost cinematic environment in which every move, every comment, and every play is magnified. The trade transcends ordinary roster updates, transforming into a living narrative that fans can follow, interpret, and emotionally invest in. In this ecosystem, Garrett is not just a player. He is the focal point of a story that spans strategy, performance, and human ambition, captivating audiences in ways few trades ever have. The Ravens coaching staff faces the task of seamlessly integrating a player of Garrett's caliber while maintaining balance across the roster. Practice schedules, defensive packages, and personnel rotations are being meticulously reevaluated to ensure maximum impact. Reports indicate that Garrett's work ethic and intensity are already influencing teammates, elevating practice standards, and reshaping attitudes toward preparation, discipline, and accountability. The narrative here blends tactical foresight with psychological influence, showing that an elite athlete can transform a team culture as much as they can dominate an opponent. Analysts suggest that if Garrett's integration is successful, the Ravens could enjoy unprecedented defensive performances that redefine expectations for the franchise. Conversely, the story also carries inherent risks, highlighting the delicate balance between star power and team cohesion, and keeping fans and commentators on edge as they await real-world outcomes. Finally, the Myles Garrett trade encapsulates the drama, complexity, and excitement that makes professional football an enduring spectacle. It's a story that intertwines athleticism, strategy, business acumen, and human ambition, offering endless opportunities for discussion, debate, and anticipation. Fans are emotionally invested, analysts are speculating with fervor, and rival teams are bracing for a challenge they may not have fully anticipated. The narrative continues to unfold daily, with every practice report, media appearance, and social media reaction adding layers to the story. As Garrett dons the Ravens uniform and steps onto the field, the league watches closely, knowing that one player's journey can redefine a franchise's trajectory, ignite divisional rivalries, and provide endless fodder for the stories that make football not just a game, but a cultural phenomenon that captivates millions of people around the world. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.